August 2nd.
Gotcha. All right. We are live, I hope.
Hello, everyone. God, I feel like I look like a shit bum everything. Just can't get used to the new surroundings, trying to cobble this. I feel like Tony Stark. I made this podcast equipment in a cave. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I changed my setup around. You can see all of my background now.
Mm-hmm.
You got my nice special edition official movie poster.
Yeah.
Like from the theater. Oh,
Yeah.
All right. But we got a big one today, and we got a cutoff time of 8 o'clock. So
Yes.
we should get into
I don't think we'll take that long. I mean, we got some stuff to talk about, but I think it'll go relatively quickly. It'll flow.
Yes. All right.
But, marking the occasion, I had to wear my Captain Rex shirt, since we're going to be covering a lot of stuff with the clones.
Yep. You have really bad Wi-Fi where you're at?
What's that?
Do you have some... how's your internet access?
Just fine, I guess.
Okay, that's weird.
I know. I heard it cutting out on your end too. I don't know. I got the same service and internet as I always do.
Oh gosh. Okay. I don't know how to record on this. Okay, please hold, everyone. I need to do this. Record. StreamYard.
Make sure I got all
automatically records live streams on paid plans. Okay, cool. If not, I'll have Greg download the video and send it to me.
Sorry.
You're good. All right. Well,
let's hope it works.
Yeah, let's jump into it.
See. All right. It's a little choppy on my end, but I'm not sure if it's me or what. I don't know. My internet was acting a little weird earlier today at the house, so it might full well be me. I don't know.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's jump into it. And 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Alliance, your home on the Geek Ultimate Alliance podcast network for any and all things Star Wars. I'm your host, as always, Katie Rentschler, and with me, as he always is, Nathan. Nathan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Katie. As we were talking, I'm trying to get used to new surroundings, and we're going to talk some of my favorite things in Star Wars. So I'm ready.
Yes, but before we get into any of that, we do have to do the podcast paperwork side of things. So I'm going to do it today because I have a script. I'm going to try this for Star Wars Alliance. We're going to see if it works. So we do, first things first, we are a part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance podcast network where we have shows every single day of the week. Saturday to Monday, we have our comic book run of the network with Weird Science DC, Weird Science Marvel, and World's Finest True Believers. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we go back-to-back with legendary comic book powerhouses, DC Alliance and Marvel Alliance. Thursdays, you get to hear a lot from me, excuse my dogs, please, with Slice of Film one week, and this show, Star Wars Alliance, with Nathan and I the next. We also on Thursdays, we also have, I said also like 5 times in that, excuse me. Also, Ranger Alliance, a Power Rangers Spectacular Adventure. Fridays, we've got superhero discussions dropping into your feeds first for all your animated needs. We do also have a Patreon where we have 2 tiers. $1 helps keep the Blaster strategy on here, and the $5 tier gets y'all ad-free episodes, exclusive episodes, and any early episodes we may drop. If you'd like to support the network but can't do Patreon, another very good option is to leave a review on your podcatcher of choice. The review helps put the network into the feeds of other listeners who may not be following us on social media. We do also have ads in this episode. Nathan or I will drop a warning before they occur, but just so y'all know now, we unfortunately don't get to choose who the ads are from, how many times you hear the ad in the podcast episode, nor how loud they are. So the warnings just give y'all a heads up to prepare your volume levels. We do appreciate y'all listening to the ads as they do help support the channel and the network as a whole. With that, let's get into our first topic.
Okay, where are we going first?
So we have a new Bad Batch trailer. Shows off the galaxy post Clone Wars and a mysterious child. So, what did you watch this first of all?
I did. I watched it. I watched it with the day it came out, and I watched it earlier just to get a little refresher on it. And you know me, I'm a sucker for clones. Like I love the clones. So this is gonna. I think this could be right up my alley.
This should be good. I'm excited. You know, a lot of people have said that we've got like the mysterious child who looks like a girl, but granted in a galaxy far, far away, you never know what's gonna appear. But that the girl is maybe a first time like clone of Palpatine, like it's their first attempt at cloning her.
I've heard this too. I've heard this or seen this rumor on Reddit.
Mm-hmm. So what did you think about it?
I've heard two schools of thought on this. That yeah, like you said, it looks like a girl. It sounds like a girl, but maybe. I mean, I guess it could be. I've also heard that like maybe because they were obviously playing around with clone DNA, a la Clone Force 99.
Yeah,
and we know that Palpatine was cloning himself because he made Rey's father.
Mm-hmm.
So I've heard that like there's a theory that maybe she is like a Palpatine clone, but like mixed with some female DNA, so that it's like a female one, or that God, what was the other one? See, I don't know. I don't know if I buy into any of that though. Like, why would he make himself a lady? But I mean, I don't know. Maybe he just felt like a lady that day and would. But if he made one, I don't know. That'd be kind of I don't know how you would draw or connect the dots on that one, but it could be done, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's possible, especially when you're like trying to experiment pulling off the Oh, I'm getting pointer tips from Travis.
Uh-oh. He's saying just this and do that, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Travis. This is why we keep you around, buddy.
Oh, okay, cool. Here we go. Star Wars Alliance. There we go.
Hey.
Making it. Thanks, Travis. Okay. Appreciate you, man.
Okay. That's very nice of him.
So I think it's possible, especially like when we get into the Mandalorian and they're experimenting with like the Force and everything. Maybe he thought, okay, if I change genders, like she would be more receptive to the Force, like just trying to experiment that way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't know.
But we do know that he was throwing everything at the wall to see what stuck. Like he made a clone completely of himself and just let it grow, and it wasn't forced inept, and he just let it go out into the world, which got to Rey. I mean, how you like that or not, that's what the official canon is. And we know from Mandalorian, like we saw the vats of what we think were Snokes or Palpatines, plus that we saw pickled Snokes. Like he was just throwing everything out there. And Battlefront 2, like Operation Cinder, he's got his like a computer algorithm and those little droid body things, you know what I'm talking about? Like it's like these droids, and they have the cloaks, and they have just these space bubbles that are dark, and then boom, Palpatine's face, but just like like if they were getting communication. So like he had a bunch of shit in motion, and we know from Clone Wars and everything else, like he's been trying to do stuff the whole time. So you're right, it very well could be he was like, you know what, I've tried everything else. Put a little girl, put some female DNA in there. Let's see what it's like. Yeah,
and this is early on compared to like Mandalorian. Obviously this I think takes place approximately a couple months after Order 66, and then Mandalorian is obviously 25 years later, somewhere in that range. So
I also heard another theory that gets a little wild, but like that perhaps it is a clone of Duchess Satine, and they just didn't force grow it or anything. And the reasoning behind it, their theory was that how we found out that Bo-Katan says Mando says that Mandalore's glass, like the Empire turned it to glass. Yeah. Well, we know the Mando, like they're such a hard force, the Empire didn't want to go against them. What better way to take control of the planet than clone and control your own rightful ruler? That's
a very good point.
So I mean, like I said, it's kind of wild and out there, but I could see how the dots could be connected.
Right, but okay, so wouldn't you think that we would have heard about that in Rebels
I
then?
do. I do. I do. But you know how they like to go back and do a little of this and do a little of that, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I did like Fennec Shan in there, Ming Na Wen getting to
Yep.
voice the character because she people don't realize it, but she's done a lot of voiceover work, like for a lot of different stuff. Like she did a Batman series for a while. She was Mulan. She's done a lot of voice work, and I think she's so delightful. So the more of her, the better.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I'm really excited, and there was some couple shots. Like she's getting really interactive with the fans and everything, and I really like that. So I'm excited to see where that goes. Like maybe, I would love to get like a canon novel on Fennec Shand and like something like Phasma. Oh, I'd be so excited for that.
I think you're in luck with that. Did you notice like her little helmet that she's wearing? Like I didn't notice it in Mando in that episode, but it's a lot like Zam Wexels from episode 2, The Assassin. So like, is she a part of the same kind of? No, she's not a changeling, obviously, but is she part of the same kind of Assassin's Guild or something? Like, is that assassin garb, or did they just happen to have the same taste in helmets? You know what I mean?
Maybe. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I've got people that they're mowing yards, dirt bikes are going. There's a kid across the street running a chainsaw. He's only like 12 out there chainsawing by himself. So if we hear stuff. I'm sorry. Like there's gonna be stuff coming in.
Hey, but listeners can probably tell my chair hasn't squeaked the whole time. I finally fixed my chair. Woo!
Nice.
Chris sent me a text last night. We recorded the Godzilla versus Kong review. He's like, man, you gotta do something about that chair. I'm like, no. So I pulled out a couple tools, made it work. I fixed it.
Nice. So nice. Engineering at its best.
That's why I get paid the big bucks, man. Or I like to think so, at least. All right. Do you have anything more on this trailer?
I do. I like that Echo is officially a part of the team, just because like it bridges that gap. It gives connective tissue. You know what I mean, to the original clone team. And I like that it has to be Echo's idea to go to Rex, because we see Captain Rex in this trailer. There's a quick flash of him. So I would almost put money on we see Ahsoka also. But I also wouldn't mind if we saw that like when they go to get Rex, maybe Rex finds Wolf and Gregor along the way, and by the time we leave them, we find those three in their tank, and they're going off until they're found in Rebels. Because I still want to know how those three got together, and what did Rex talk them guys into pulling their chips out afterward? Did you know what I mean? Like, I want to see that. And I'm not saying this show has to do that, but you're dealing with clones, and they've got Rex, and they're like, you could lay a seed or something, you know?
Yeah, that would be a really good option. The other thing that I guess I forgot about, so the show will debut with a 70-minute premiere on May 4th, and have another episode drop that week, so it sticks to the traditional Friday release for Disney Plus. So we're getting some good stuff. We'll have about 100 minutes of Star Wars content that week. So really excited.
Another thing I noticed about this trailer is like it's definitely. Like you've got Tarkin testing these guys, you know. Like what I'm assuming is testing the remainder of the clone troopers.
Yeah.
Because we see they're running that same clone, you know, on Camino there, obviously, and then we in the trailer they say they got to get out of there. We see them taking on Empire, stormtroopers, like actual stormtrooper garb, not clone troopers, and we also see them take down a battalion of droids. So it's like this is really gonna Not that like everything has to go back to Order 66, but I wouldn't mind seeing like where were they when they got the order, because obviously they don't function right. Like even Tarkin makes an offhand comment in the trailer. So like will we see them we know they work alone, but like are they going to be in the middle of some shit and then something go down and like they look around at their brothers, and be like, what is happening? Echo's got the Lobot thing, but he's still technically not one of those guys. Is he going to flip? Like, will they have to control him? Was Echo going to all of a sudden start going, kill Jedi or kill, you know what I mean? Be a good soldier, follows order or whatever, whatever they say. So like, I'll be curious to see that. Or does Echo have that pulled out of his head since they were using him as a computer anyway? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm curious. I'm fascinated. Like, I like Echo being the connective tissue.
Yeah, that's all some good thoughts. I'm curious to see what happens because ultimately, like, this probably wouldn't have been my first pick for an animated show for Star
No.
Wars. Like, I don't
No.
think it was anyone's, but the stuff that they've shown is interesting. So
Okay, like I said, I'm that guy. Like the Clone Wars and that prequel era is my favorite, and like this is like a stack of nothing but Clone Wars books here. So I'm into it. Okay, like I love it. Like all the Clone Wars encyclopedia, everything. Like their epic battles.
yeah,
So like I said, more clones the better. And like D. Bradley Baker, you want to talk about carrying a show? Like Jesus, he's gonna carry the entire main cast. So
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I'm there for it.
very fair points.
Yeah.
So the next big ticket item we have is the Kenobi series. We got an official casting report.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Joel Edgerton. I think it's Edgerton. Bonnie Piesse. I totally
Uncle
butchered
Owen
that.
and Aunt Beru. Mm-hmm.
Yep, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. And obviously we have Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen. We knew those already. The rest of the cast includes Moses Ingram, who said on her Instagram with the casting announcement that she would be playing with lightsabers. So there's our clue to her character. Inquisitor. I would like them to play into the Asajj Ventress Dark Disciple path with some guilt playing on Obi-Wan. I think it would be really, really good.
And plus, like, all through the Clone Wars, like, she was all sassy and flirting with Kenobi. Like, you remember, like, the first 3 seasons? Like, she's all sassying it up and stuff. They were all flirting and stuff. So, like, that would be good. And then, like you said, if you go to the Dark Disciples book, which I highly recommend everybody read, listen to, whatever, like, how she was kind of manipulated in with Quinlan Vos, and then, like, what comes out of that and how it ends. Like, that, like, yeah, I can totally see where you're going. That I'm there for it. Or, like I said, an Inquisitor, too, because at first, like, I don't like the helicopter blade, you know, whatever. But, like, the more I think about Inquisitors, the more I like them. So it would make, like, how do you feel about this? I don't necessarily want Vader versus Kenobi round 2.
I don't.
And hear me out when I say that, because I don't want it to take away from episode 4. You know what I mean? Like, well, God, what does Vader say? I can't remember the exact words, but it's something like, my master, you know, I haven't sensed the presence like this in many years. And, you know, he says, my old master's returned. Oh, and Tarkin says something like he's been dead or whatever. And Vader says, you know, Obi-Wan is here and the Force is with him. And then when they go to their lightsaber battle, he's like, what's he say? You know, it's been, when I last met you, I was the learner, but now I'm the master. I don't want Vader, like, we can see Vader and be on the trail and giving orders to Inquisitors and stuff, but I don't necessarily want to see Kenobi take on Vader.
Well, so I think you could play that one in 2 ways. You can, so I think you could play that into him being the learner as the dark side apprentice, because technically in Revenge of the Sith, he's a Jedi Knight, and
he flipped to Vader. Remember, like Palpatine, he damn near knights him, like the Queen would do to Sir Elton John and stuff. She's like, he damn near knights him. Rise as Lord Vader. Remember, you know what I'm saying? Like as he gets him, so like technically, I'm not discounting, but technically he was when he faced him, he was the dark side apprentice, because he'd already killed all the younglings.
But you could say that for several years. This is 10 years after.
No, okay, right.
Vader is still learning in A New Hope, in Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. So
you're very right.
Technically, in the terms of the Sith, one is the master and one's the apprentice, always.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. And like, no, go ahead. I was just going to piggyback. I'll go ahead.
For me, I think you could play it that way, especially with the fact that this isn't directly before A New Hope. This is 10 years after Return of the Jedi.
You're right. You are absolutely right.
So I think it could work that way.
Well, yeah, and you're right, and like talking about like there can only be 2. Just doing research on the Clone Wars arcs that we're going to talk about and stuff, and just kind of going through them. Like when Palpatine comes to Maul and Savage Opress, like he straight up tells Maul, there can only be two. And like when he goes in there and just starts wrecking those two, which is awesome, by the way. That's like the best Palpatine lightsaber battle. I know there's not many to choose from, but that is such an underrated and badass lightsaber battle.
It is.
But what if, damn it, I had it and
sorry.
Another wild rumor that I heard that I could go with, and I would love it if they made this canon because technically it's Legends now. What if Vader sends Starkiller, as in his apprentice from the games, from the Force Unleashed? He sends his apprentice. Like now, technically that's not canon anymore, but you got Sam Witwer there. Like he was the Galen. I forgot what his name was, but he was Starkiller. And I know they've used the name for the base and they've taken things from it, but there's no reason Vader couldn't be. We saw Dooku grooming of Asajj, and Palpatine was fine with it until her power got too great. Like, there's no reason Vader couldn't be grooming someone and send Vader. And then, like I said, that's wild speculation. But as long as we're talking, let's just throw everything. See what sticks. You know what I mean?
I think it's possible. Now, and granted, they're always gonna want. Star Wars is always gonna want to keep something secret. So while this is an official casting announcement,
right?
Like we know we're gonna get like a 10-year-old Luke in this. Like they've said it a bunch, so it's probable we'll get him, especially knowing Aunt Beru, Uncle Owen are here. It's highly probable. So I think you could really consider anything at this point. Because, I mean, who knows what the next Luke Skywalker cameo in Mandalorian could be. The Marvel has tried to do it several times, according to the cast. But had to take that shot. Had to do it.
Brent's going to love that. Brent is rolling his eyes so hard right now, he needs cataract surgery. But
Brent, I love it. Okay, so next on the list. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Did you have something?
No, the only thing I was going to say is I think we got sidetracked before you went through the rest of the casting list, but I don't know them either. The only one I know is the lady that played on Game of Thrones, who played one of the Sand Snakes, and the rumor has it
Indira Varma.
She could be a young Duchess Satine even.
I don't know about young. I think there's two people on here who could play a Duchess Satine.
Okay.
Indira Varma. I think so you've got Simone Kessel, who I think is probably the biggest unknown on this. I didn't know anything that she had been in. But I mean Star Wars is known for pulling in those young those unknowns and making them great
into somebody.
So I think Simone definitely has the look to where she could play Duchess Satine. If you wanted to go for the more angular look, I think Indira Varma could pull it off. But I really want Indira to have like full-time cast, like not just have her in one episode. Like I want her the whole time.
This is true. One more thing that I think is going to be like this will be a failure to this series particularly. If we don't hear at least Liam Neeson, Qui-Gon needs to reach out to Kenobi, like, because we know that he reached. It was all because of like motorcycle wreck. He couldn't actually be a Force ghost in Revenge of the Sith, but he talks to Yoda. But so we know that like he couldn't, and they canoned it that he didn't have enough time to learn how to fully integrate himself and become a Force ghost. But he's the one that teaches Yoda, and we know that Ben Kenobi does it too. So I would love it. Like I said, I would love to see Liam Neeson, Qui-Gon Jinn, but we need to at least hear him talking to Obi-Wan in the Force, and like Obi-Wan is learning how to become a Force ghost, because at the end of Revenge of the Sith, he doesn't know how to do that, and he's shocked when Master Yoda tells him, "I've been talking to your old master." Yep. You know what I mean? So like I think that is I know they haven't announced it or anything, but I think that is a deal breaker, or like you really effed up if you don't get that in here.
I don't know about deal breaker, but I would agree that
you know what I mean. Okay, not a deal breaker, but if that's gonna be really, really like, come on, guys, get it together.
Yeah. So Indira Varma, Game of Thrones, obviously, I think she was in one other thing that I knew of, but she's awesome. Yeah. I want to see her in every episode. Like, do it. Another name that I found really interesting on this list, Kumail Nanjiani.
What?
Who is in So he's in oh gosh, I can't even
Isn't
remember.
he the guy that's in Eternals that got all ripped? Like he was kind of dumpy
Yep.
and now he's like shredded, like stacked like a brick shit house. Yeah, he was all frumpy and dumpy and like, hey, whatever. I get it. I let myself go sometimes too. I'm not hanging it down, but I need to go from what he was looking like to this jacked up, just you could shred fucking cheese on his abs. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, kudos to that guy.
Well, I'm not saying no.
Right.
But he's in the Big Sick, Life as We Know It, Stuber, Men in Black International, which I
Stuber.
didn't realize that.
He must have been an alien voice or something.
Probably. And then the only other thing that I would highly, highly recommend is Lovebirds, which is on Netflix. He killed it in that role. Like I was dying laughing the entire time. So I'm really interested to see what he picks up, or what role they've put him in. And a lot of people are like, oh, it would be sick if he played Kitster, Anakin's best friend, in Phantom Menace.
I would love that. But he's a little bit at the same age as Kenobi, and I don't know how well that would work, unless we do know on Tatooine they age fucking, it really ages you out there in the sand and stuff. So we know it really wrecks them out there, so maybe that will work.
Well, so he is 42.
Mm-hmm. And Ewan just turned 50 something, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah.
Well,
you know, always make someone look older or younger.
That's true.
It's happened before.
That's true. And
but sorry, go ahead.
Well, you have read the Kenobi Legends novel, right?
I have not. It's on my list.
Oh, okay. See, I have not either. I was going to ask you. I heard that, like, the premise or the rough idea that I get, and people correct me if I'm wrong, is that like it's not 3 short stories, but like there's these 3 different like bounty hunters that all come to Tatooine, or like there's okay, maybe not 3, but I know what sticks out of my head for some reason. Like there's a Wookiee bounty hunter that comes, and Kenobi's got to stop. Like I don't think he's necessarily looking for Luke, but like something happens and he's got to stop him from finding Luke. And that would be cool to see, like some kind, somebody like we know Wookiee is like this nice species and friendly and stuff. Like let's see a dark, crazed, deranged Wookiee coming out, like with his crossbow blaster going out there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'll take it.
I'm quickly skimming the plot summary on Wikipedia, and I'm not seeing where it has bounty hunters. It says follows the story of Obi-Wan Kenobi's first days of self-exile on the desert planet Tatooine. So,
okay. Well, like I said, maybe
I'm not going to read the whole thing because I don't want to spoil it for myself because it is on my list. I do have it. So,
yes. Yeah, and like I told you off there, I will be going back through the Legends canon because whatever's for like I think that seems to be where my bread and butter lies, is in the past for now, and I'm definitely want to check all that stuff. Plus, you've raved about the Legends for so long. I really need to just experience that for myself.
I think they're so good, and like, yeah. So I've hit a lump. Okay, so I'm on Deceived by Paul S. Kemp, and it's a little weird.
Is it a slog or just?
Like, it's kind of a slog. Like, they're going through 2 different perspectives from, like, the Sith to the Jedi to the Sith. And I'm like, okay, no, give me one storyline with some perspectives intermixed here and there. Because that's my thing with Alphabet Squadron, is I don't like multiple perspectives in a book. Like, so that's what I'm struggling with. I think it's good. And, like, one of my friends who had actually read this actually bought this from me because he found out that I hadn't read it. And that was like 3 years ago. So I'm sorry, Eric. You're probably not watching or listening to this, but I'm finally reading it. So, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say while I veered us over on this slight detour of Legends books, man, what's up? Lucasfilm re-releasing a couple Legends books. What's up with that?
Oh, I'm so excited. This is not on this was after the next ad break, but we have so much news to cover. Why not do it now?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. That was just my while we were talking. I don't mean to take away from Kenobi, like where we're going, but while we're on the Legends topic, I figured, hey, that's cool.
Okay. How do I present? I really want to present this and show these off because
the covers are actually really cool.
Share screen. I want to share this one. And today, for my news efforts, I'm using Utini. Utini, I appreciate all your news coverage because this was really
Thanks,
helpful.
Is that like Utini?
No, like the it's in one of the movies. I forget. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So like here's the header, which has all the 3 books in it, but I want to pull up the tweet.
Yeah, tweet.
Here's the Twitter. So here is all 3 books. So we've got Heir to the Empire, which is the first Thrawn book. So you got Thrawn right here, and then Luke coming in hot. So very nice cover. Then you have the first Darth Bane book, Path of Destruction. And then you have Shatterpoint, which I haven't read either. But look at this cover. Like, look at all of these covers. They're so pretty. They're so pretty. Clay's in the chat. Hi, Clay.
What's up, Clay? I noticed that they're a little bit bigger too than your normal book.
These are the trade paperbacks. So the one I have here, the Destruction book, is mass market.
Yes.
And Del Rey has slowly been moving its books, the paperback books, into the trade format, which is a little bit larger. But it's the standard book size across everything, which makes me super mad because I'm like, my bookshelf doesn't match because they're switching the canon books, canon paperback books, into the trade paperback. And so it's messing up my bookshelf. No, I don't like this. But
yeah, I just
I might have to
nothing matches.
It bugs the crap out of me. But I might have to get over it just for these because these are just beautiful. Like, I can't get over it.
I do not own the hard copies of the Bane trilogy. So when these 3 come out, I may have to get those because I don't think you just put part 1 out and not the other one. The same with the Heir to the Empire. I think you put out all 3 books. And I really want to read Shatterpoint just because give me more Mace Windu. You know what I mean?
So if we so there's no plans to currently release the others in the trilogy. However, Del Rey, so these books will be coming out June 15th. And Del Rey says there will be another drop this fall. So Oh, and the other big point for the listeners who can't see my screen right now, Shatterpoint, most Legends books actually don't have a full-fledged audiobook attached to them. So like the X-Wing books, they're the standard Star Wars book size, but it's normally, I would say, about 9 to 10 hours worth of audiobook reading. The X-Wing books are 3 hours on Audible, which really sucks. And I because those are some great books and I would love to listen to them. But Shatterpoint will be receiving a fully unabridged audio edition as well. So that's a really good opportunity. So
Can we get Samuel L. Jackson in here to read from Mace? Like, come on. Let's get him in here to read it.
I would assume by now they've already had this, like they're in the middle of recording this. So
why? Not why, because I think it's a great idea. But like, I don't know. I guess if we want to go the devil's advocate, play the other side, super tinfoil hat, whatever you want to say, like, why now? Why re-release these Legends now?
So Lucasfilm says, or Del Rey Star Wars says, Lucasfilm is celebrating its 50th anniversary. They're curating a collection of essential Star Wars Legends novels, which the collection is literally entitled the Essential Legends Collection. So,
okay.
We can read through.
I don't know. I just find it kind of not strange, but while they're hip deep in their High Republic endeavors, and then like you kind of I don't know. It's like because they touted how it's the High Republic's the future, and like we're going the future, and this is what we're doing the future, and this is the future, and then now it's like, hey guys, here's some of the past, which I'm not complaining. I want like I said, I'm gonna dive into the. And it's like, it just like last year, you guys were like, no, we're talking about the future. You guys go enjoy that shit on your own time, and now they're like, all right, give them some of this.
I think the big thing is that they're not producing any more books. They're just
that's true. That's very true.
Re-exciting a beloved collection because Heir to the Empire has had several editions. They had a 20th anniversary.
Yes.
I think this comes out in time for the 30th anniversary. So I think it works. Heir to the Empire is something that's really beloved by a lot of people. It comes highly recommended from several authors. Like, oh, you want to start your Legends experience? Go with Heir to the Empire up front.
Mhm.
So I think it's really good. I do just want to shout out the artist really fast who did the covers. So the Heir to the Empire cover was done by Tracy Ching. The Path of Destruction cover was done by Simon. I'm gonna butcher this. I'm so sorry, Simon. Simon Goynard.
Nailed it.
And I'm sorry. Shatterpoint was done by Jeff Manning. So, really cool artwork, guys. Really impressed.
They look beautiful. Yeah, the art looks really good.
Yeah, and Clay says, but do these have audiobooks to go along with these? Because I buy both of everything I can. I don't know about Darth Bane, Clay, but I do know Heir to the Empire has an audiobook, and Shatterpoint will have an unabridged audiobook when these release. So
Clay,
that's a good option.
The Darth Bane trilogy is on Audible, unabridged. All 3 books, I have them. They're fantastic. I think they're like in the range of 14 to 20 hours, I want to say, and I feel like 20 is an overshot. So like they're good. They're excellent. So I highly recommend them. That is, I don't own a hard copy of any of the 3. The only way I have them is on my Audible, and I really, really enjoy them. So like I said, you can get the mass market paperbacks, like Katie said, to get the trilogy for your hard copy, and they are all on Audible right now.
Yeah. So, but honestly, like the trade paperbacks, the way most people are going. So if you can wait for the trade paperback to go, and you're a bookshelf snob like I am, that would be what I would do. So of my Legends collection, I think I have maybe 30 more books to go to get the complete Del Rey sets. So I am a nerd.
Yes. Yes.
So Matt did give me permission to get these because he was like,
it's 2021. We don't talk like that. You're your own woman.
Yes, I know.
I'm just talking to you shit. Stop it.
I gotta put these in the same house with him. So he's like, I literally, the day this tweet came out, and Tom, if you're listening, this is how excited I am about these. I could not stop talking about these covers. I was like,
they're gorgeous.
My gosh, they're gorgeous.
They're gorgeous.
Like, they're so pretty. And I love the fact that on the cover, they've relegated the title to the top of it.
And not over the back or the back.
Yeah. Because like you have like Star Wars and then like the Deceived. So the text is all over the cover of the regular Legends. So the fact that they did this, perfect.
Just even looking at like the way they did Thrawn and Luke on that first one, you know what I mean? Like the detail in Thrawn's face and that deep blue, just like it's described, like when you're reading the Legends or the audiobooks, and even the new canon Thrawn, like it's you like that, you see that and you instantly know that's Thrawn. And then like you said, you got Luke's in, and then I really like what they did with the Bane design there, like almost like blood and like it's not finished being painted or like, drawn or whatever. I don't know. I really like that look. And then Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, you don't even need to do nothing else. Just Samuel L. Jackson, because it even says on his lightsaber, that's a bad motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Well, and something that I think someone asked on Twitter if they were going to release all of the Legends in this format, and they did state, which I agree with. They were like, that would defeat the purpose of having the essential Legends collection. But a very good option, I think, to have would be to just remove the essential Legends collection off there and just release them all in trade paperback. And kind of give, obviously you're never going to want to publish 2 copies of the book at the same time, but that could be a good way to cycle out the mass market if you're looking to do that, because I believe these are still published. So I think that would be a good option.
I just went to my Books A Million over the weekend in my local area, and looked at the start, like you could still get them all, like you said, but they're in mass market paperback.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think they've been sitting there for a billion years there, so you can still get all this stuff. And I know on Amazon you can still order these, but I am the more graphic novels I get and omnibuses and stuff, I'm getting more a fan of that size of reading things when I'm going, because like I've been on this kick of buying omnibuses from like DC and all this other stuff, so like I'm getting kind of used to that bigger format and trade paperbacks. And even the novelizations of like all the Star Wars books are a little bit bigger books, you know what I mean? So I'm down for that bigger format, or you know, that bigger book, I guess.
And just to kind of give people an idea, here's the difference. So here's the Heir to the Empire book. So, and then there's kind of a side-by-side look. So, and you've still got Thrawn and Luke on the cover of the mass market, but now it's just so pretty,
so much better. Yes, so much
pretty.
better.
Oh, all right, stop sharing. So we're gonna go back to Kenobi now because we totally just like
we derailed.
Whoopsie.
Do we need to take a break before we jump back in, or we're just gonna finish up Kenobi?
Let's finish Kenobi and then take it.
All right.
So the remaining people of the cast, the only other one I really know of is Sung Kang, who plays Han in Fast and Furious.
Oh, I like him. All right.
He's in there.
Something.
And then the other ones are Rupert Friend, which I lied. I actually do know him. He played Wickham in Pride and Prejudice, the Keira Knightley version. So I really just want him to be a dick. I really just need him to be an asshole. I don't want him to be any good guy because it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah, that would just shatter your image of him. I get it.
Yes. And then the other two, O'Shea Jackson Jr., who was in Godzilla King of Monsters, and that's the only big thing I think he's been in.
Then I would know him from that because I've seen it.
And then Benny Safdie, who is a famous director or brother of a directing pair. Tends to lean more comedic, off the cuff things. Okay. Like I saw Good Times, and Good Times was weird. With Robert Pattinson. So that's a big cast.
Robert Pattinson, you just had to say no more because he went on a good, 10-year stint of doing the weirdest and craziest dumb shit you could find. That's just for the art's sake. It's for art. That's neither here nor there. He's gonna redeem himself as the Batman. Okay, I started respecting Robert Pattinson after I saw that trailer, so I get it. I get it, guys. But I'm just saying.
I really think he took Twilight because he wanted to take more roles in the indie genre.
And he wanted to make FU money before he did that.
Yeah. Because he made some good money.
You know what? If they come and get me right now to play a sparkly vampire and they say, you know what, we're going to sign you for 3 movies and you're going to have, we're going to back Brinks trucks up to your house. I go, you know what? I'll be out there sparkling tomorrow with my shirt. Just get me out there just shining on them.
All right. So we're going to take a quick ad break if I can get my num blocks working. And come right back because we still have like 8 more pieces of news to go through. So stay tuned. Okay. And 3, 2, 1. And we are back. Thanks for listening, y'all. We appreciate it, don't we, Nathan?
We do.
So first things first, hitting the comic run portion. We have this week is apparently going to be, we're recording this Monday, April 5th, and this week is apparently going to be the War of the Bounty Hunters week, which is an upcoming Boba Fett feature, where he loses Han Solo, and then a bunch of bounty hunters try and like take him. So, yeah.
So like after he's frozen him in carbonite, like he loses him in the transport.
Yep. We talked about this the last time.
Okay, I think I vaguely remember this. I don't know. I'm so out on the story group and their fancy snazzy ideas for wrecking my characters. Like now Han, oh, he wasn't never the, he was always the lovable guy. He was just pretending to be a smuggler, guys. Stop it with your bullshit, okay? Han was Han, leave it alone. I'm sorry, not to get into another thing. Lando, like I said, Lando Calrissian, and you got Billy D. Williams. That's the smoothest motherfucking lady man and the ladies man in the world. Now they're coming out. Now he's a lady. He's a dude's dude too. Like, all right, we get it, but stop it. You're just trying to fucking stop it, guys. Don't be silly. But I don't know. That's neither here nor there. I know. It's just I can't handle any more than fuck that. There's a concerted effort for that. You know what? If I'm gonna get on the roll, I'm getting on the roll. There's a concerted effort for them to shit on Yoda and make him the worst fucking character. Like he was it's Yoda's fault. Everything got fucked. Like, what are you doing, you guys? Stop trying to. I get it. I absolutely understand. Build your new characters up, all that, but you don't have to tear down and shit on all the characters we grew to love. Like, you can't come in and be like, nah, that's, how you thought he was this for 40 years. No. We're going to come up with this stupid comic book story. And, it's going to be like this, guy. You're going to love it. Your guys are going to love it. We're going to fuck everything up, for 40 years. Stop it, guys. Like, really? Stop it. And you know what? The Notorious GL, like, I love him because he come on, like, 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, his wife was having some kind of thing, and Mr. George Lucas comes in with his sweatpants on and his fucking flannel and comes and like one of the people that was on her Skype call was like, George, and like was asking him about the new stuff of Star Wars, and he guys, the new direction, you saw my direction in the original 6 and you know what I meant and my values and intentions and the Clone Wars, and then they took it off to do their own thing. So if you want to have my vision and stuff, it's the first 6 in Clone Wars. And I was like, fucking golf, like round of applause, Mr. Lucas, because I know he likes some of the stuff going on around there. Obviously, the Mandalorian stuff like that, but it right out of his mouth being like,
okay.
I got my rant over. I'm done.
But you sell your stuff.
I get
your right to protect it, but you sold your right to the story.
You're right. No. I'm not talking about George. Like, he's not even bitter about it. Like, he was just saying, like, my vision was this because, like you said, he did sell it, and now they're doing all this other shit. He was just saying, if you want to see what my intentions, do the first 6 in Clone Wars because that's all Lucas. That's all George towards you.
I bet and a lot of the legends money off these books.
Well, yeah, he had influence on the legends too. Like he told them that like the Clone Wars was specifically off limits when they were writing out. Like they couldn't they couldn't do the clone troopers going and having a battle to take a planet. Like the second battle of Geonosis or something like that was off limits because he always planned on doing more with that. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know, like I said, rant over. I just feel like the story group is just like out to just fuck every character you've loved your entire life and be like, no, you guys thought they were this? No, they're not this. They're totally this now, guys, because they're totally this. And they think it's just great. Like they're smiling, like they're clapping each other on the back, being like, they're going to fucking love this, guys. They're going to love it. I don't know. Whatever. Sorry. I'm done. Moving on.
So the War of the Bounty Hunters is being written by Charles Soule, and apparently they will be unveiling 40 variant covers for a specific one-shot comic on Friday. 40.
Whoa!
I think that's a little overkill.
Clay's
I'm not a comic person.
Clay's over there going, "What the hell am I going to do? How do I pick just 5 out of 40?"
That's all I'm saying. I think 40 is a little overkill, but
me too.
So that's about all I got there because I don't know what else to talk about. So the next topic, Marvel has ended their comics deal with Diamond and has picked a new worldwide distributor for all of their comics. So this doesn't include all Star Wars comics, but it does include the Marvel variation. They're different. I promise. I don't know what's different, but they are. So they will be entering an exclusive global multi-year, distribution deal with Penguin Random House Publisher Services. So.
You know what I would like to do? I would like to, like this side note, we're talking about comics. I would like to track down those like original runs of the Star Wars comic. Whether like what isn't that where Dark Empire came from, or like a bunch of shit. Like I would love to track, and I know they're like gold and they're really hard to find. And I'm a physical guy. I cannot read on my phone like digitally or on a TV or on an iPad. I don't know why. It's just not my thing. I need the book in my hand. But man, I would love to find that collection of like just all those original filling in the gaps between the original trilogy. Like the stuff that George, like, yeah, you could do this story and tell him, give him pointers. So, like, I'd love to find those original. And listeners, if like maybe I'm dumb. Maybe I can go to Amazon right now and get something. I just haven't looked for it. I mean, if send it in my direction, please. But that's just what we're talking about comics. I would love to read that stuff.
Yeah. I think it'd be really cool. So the last bit of comics, Marvel will be releasing distinctive Pride Month comic covers for specific issues. So this is just another variant. So like Santa Staros is going to be the cover of a Dr. Aphra, which if I can share again. Share screen.
Sharing is caring.
So this is the one. This is the Dr. Aphra one.
I like the art. That looks really good.
So they're centering
the artists
a couple.
Are so talented. Like, let's just take a second to appreciate that. We've been talking about all this gorgeous art. Like, man, people that are so much more talented than me coming up to do that stuff. Like, bravo! Because wow, just look at that, gorgeous.
Yep. So you've got Ray Sloan will be covering Darth Vader number 13 with artwork by J.J. Kirby. Dr. Aphra, War of the Bounty Hunters number 1. Erica Quell on Bounty Hunters number 13. Tarek and Saret, the High Republic number 6, which I wasn't able to find that one. I can't remember where it was published, but it's on the Instagram for Star Wars, I believe. Lando Calrissian on Star Wars number 14, and then Santa Staros, which showed. So, just tidbits. It's a good thing to get representation out there for everyone. So, and again, comic variants are not for me, but I'm glad for everyone else who gets to see it. So,
yep.
So you're gonna be excited about this next one, or no? Okay, let's get this one out of the way first. Okay. The High Republic show had their second episode. I haven't watched it. I'm really bad with watching like Star Wars YouTube. I'm just really bad about it. So the big ticket item was they released a couple more artwork pieces of the characters. So like we got Comac. Master Comac from Into the Dark. He got his picture. Affy got hers. And then the other big item was Cavan Scott will be writing another audio drama called Tempest Runner, which will be about Nihil leader Lorna D. And so I'm excited about that. Cavan wrote a really good audio drama for Dooku Jedi Lost. So I will definitely be checking it out. And I think
he's got the format down. Yeah.
Yeah. Very much so. So, yeah, I think Lorna D is really cool.
The Dooku audio drama is actually pretty good. Like, yeah, I still wish they would have used the Clone Wars voice actors or whatever. That's just a little nitpick, if I'm picking nits, but it's actually pretty good. Like, and it gives a lot of context and a lot more backstory on Dooku. And if anybody's like me and a motherfucking super fan of Dooku, and I do believe he is better than like he is the true apprentice, like it does a lot for him. So I highly recommend that.
Highly recommend. And it's cool hearing all the different audios and everything.
Yes.
It makes it really different from your typical audiobook. Next thing up, I can't remember if we talked about this or not, so I figured I'd bring it up again. The Mandalorian novel that was originally scheduled to be released this November by Adam Christopher has been canceled.
Yeah, we talked about that, I do believe, the last episode.
It still breaks my heart. I really want to read something about like the Mandalorian era. But I mean, I get it. They also canceled the art book apparently for season 2. So
I wonder why.
My best guess would be they're wanting to keep things open and wanting to control the direction of where it's going, because it's at a
splitting off point.
Yeah, where they could go several different ways with it. So you may want to keep a future direction, because the art book always has behind the scenes stuff, which the behind the scenes people Lucasfilm may be going, okay, I don't want you to reveal too much, so we're just gonna hold off on this. We're gonna come back to it later.
Well, you bring up a good point too, that where we left off in season 2 was almost like if you're writing a trilogy of books, like it was in chapters, like that was book 1 of a trilogy of the Mando.
Yep.
And Favreau and Filoni want to keep, we know that they are keeping that up. So I think that makes perfect sense what you said, that it's probably like, hey, we want to control the narrative, like we just put a little bow on this first story about Din Djarin. And now we're going to put, the next in our trilogy of books, if you will, like the Darth Bane trilogy. You know what I mean? Beginning,
Yep.
middle, end in the first book, and then you get 2 and 3. Like I think you're absolutely right.
Oh, I think we'll see it come back around, maybe after the show ends or gets more further along in this. Oh my gosh, I got the hiccups again. It's the 5th time today.
You want me to scare you?
No, thank you. So yeah, it could go multiple ways.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. So next piece of news, we have a new Star Wars book, which will be based on the Visions series that is coming to Disney Plus in the fall.
Okay.
And it will be written by Emma Mieko Kandon. I butchered that again.
Nailed it. Katie, just keep strolling through it. Like you just wear that shit with pride. Just stick your chest out like, yep, nailed it. Just keep going.
I'm sorry. It's not going to be a novelization. It is an original novel. So Ronin is a term that comes from historical Japan, referring to a lone wandering samurai who no longer serves a master. And we know Visions is going to be done by Japanese animators, piggybacking off of the anime style. So I think it's a really cool opportunity. What do you think?
I can't wait to see a 2-handed katana fucking lightsaber that's going to come out with a slight curve. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just going to pull it. I'm like, yes. Because I love like martial arts and Ronin and like showing like all that jazz. Like I can give me all that fighting stuff and give me that with a lightsaber. Yes, please. Let's go. I will at least check. Like honestly, this is probably not going to be my cup of tea, but I will at least check out like the first 5 minutes or 10 or something just to see what the hell it's even going to look like. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe I'll be blown away and I'll be like, oh my God, I didn't know I needed this. But most likely, that doesn't usually speak to me when it comes to this particular genre. I'm so weird. Like Star Wars is really the only thing I care about. Like if it gets too weird and out there, and I don't know why. Like I don't know. I don't know. So like you know what I mean. Like I'm willing to go outside the box with other franchises and things. But I'm like, yeah, sure, let's give that a go. But like when Star Wars gets a little too far outside the lines, I'm like, really? Or my version of outside the lines, I guess I should say more specifically. But whatever. Like I said, I'm just saying all that to say I think it'll be cool to see a katana lightsaber, and I will check it out just to at least say that I saw it. Be like, all right, now I see what they did.
I think it's a cool opportunity, and I like the fact that Star Wars is branching out. It's not everything's going to be for everyone, but like
sure.
I've loved the Star Wars love stories that we've gotten. Like Claudia Gray's. You're still laughing because I have the hiccups.
I'm not. Just because I know you love the mushy gushy stuff. That's all right.
I do.
And the hiccup.
So I think it's really cool, and like Bad Batch. Bad Batch may not be for everyone.
Absolutely.
So I think Visions is a good opportunity to see something different. Ronin, according to the Del Rey Star Wars Twitter account, is a Star Wars book quite unlike any before it. And it will be releasing October 12th, 2021. Perfect. Right in time for my birthday.
6 days after my birthday. So, we're good.
All right. Now the one you've been waiting for. Are you ready?
Bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yes. End of this month, right?
Well, yes. Thrawn 2. End of this month.
Oh, we get
April 27th.
Okay, yes.
I
can't wait. I've been counting it down. I thought it was the 30th, so you just made it better. I've been thinking April 30th in my head for some reason. So That many more days closer. Yes.
So really cool. Oh gosh. I wanna show the cover image. I gotta do this. Okay.
Yes, please.
because the artwork for this series has been phenomenal. And
Top notch.
according to Tom, the artwork for these books were created all at once. The titles were not, but the art was all done because someone brought up a comment, oh, okay, how do we not have a cover for Ronin, which will be releasing sooner than the next Thrawn book? And so Tom just kind of chimed in. Share screen. I gotta do this, y'all. This is just gorgeous.
Boom! Look at that.
Thrawn Ascendancy, Lesser Evil.
You know I'll be getting the hard copy of this because I got, like I said, the books that I really enjoy from the new canon, I do hard copy them. I put them, I will listen to audiobook first, and then I will actually physically read it.
But you got to get this full trilogy now, right?
Oh yeah, I've got the original, no, not the original, the 2015, Thrawn, Treason, Ascent, and Alliance, and then I've got the
Chaos
first
Rising.
Ascendancy book, yeah. And so I will be getting this one. Absolutely. I can't not have it on my shelf. Are you crazy?
Yep. So you've got Chaos Rising, Greater Good, which releases April 27th, and then Lesser Evil comes out November 16th, 2021.
November 16th?
Yep.
Ooh, see, I didn't know we had oh shit, I'm about to mark that shit on my calendar.
So see, we're getting 2 Thrawn books in a year. Del Rey is busy.
Yes,
Del Rey
is busy. For me. Sometimes I feel like these Thrawn books are they were like, you know what, Nathan, we hear you. We hear that you're not happy all the time, and we just want to give you a little something to put a smile on your face. And I know that's not true, but I like to tell myself that sometimes because Timothy Zahn writing Thrawn is just like a little piece of pie for me. You know what I mean?
You know, whatever makes you feel better.
Right.
So I did also find out something about Greater Good. It will not have sprayed edges. They said they tried to make that happen, did not have enough time in production. I think it would have been a really cool touch, but you know what? I'm buying a hard copy anyways.
Me too. What's the third one called?
Lesser Evil.
That one should have red pages. That one should have red tinges on the outside of it, like blood red.
Well,
like
no,
blood red pages.
Well, so the Greater Good cover is bright red. So I was like, that one needed to have red pages.
Okay. Well,
I could also see flipping it where you did black pages for Greater Good and then red pages for Lesser Evil.
Or we could they could do a little bit of the Darth Maul thing and do them like real dark with like blood streaks in them for the third one. Lesser Evil, or something. Yeah, let's get all metal with it.
There was a summary dropped with Lesser Evil. However, I know Nathan and I are still waiting for Greater Good. And so we will talk about it after Greater Good. So those episodes that we'll be covering Greater Good all of May. So you know what to tune in for, as well as Bad Batch. So there you go.
Yes, absolutely.
So that concludes our news segment. We had a lot to cover today. It was a lot. But you know what? Go ahead.
Well, being that you have your hiccups and stuff, and we've hit an hour, do you want to save our top 5 Clone Wars arcs till the next time, or do you want to just go ahead and do? I'm fine either way, but I'm just asking you.
I know, but I actually had a lot of feedback from people who gave me their Clone Wars arc.
Let's go then. I'm ready.
I want to dive into it. However, we will take a little bit of a longer ad break so I can go get some water.
Okay.
Come back for our top 5 Clone Wars arcs. So stay tuned, y'all. All right. I'm gonna mute. I'll be right back.
All right. Everybody's sitting there. If you're watching this video, hi. Just hanging out here. My fancy little scribbled down list. And set all my freaking Clone Wars books because I'm a giant nerd. Whatever, somebody's got to be right. You guys want to look through some cool stuff? Probably some books you've never seen for like covering Clone Wars season 1 and 2. Oh. everybody right now is like, whatever. I think they're pretty fucking cool. Get a little more on the clones. Little tidbits. So Katie gets rid of the damn hiccups, guys. Jesus. Thought she was gonna hick her lung right up. Or something was gonna come out and get on that keyboard or something. I don't know. Come on, Katie. Whoa. Katie doesn't know how to run, guys. If I was going out there to get something to drink, I'd have sprinted in and sprinted back. There she is.
I also had to pee, okay? Come on.
Oh, well, that makes more sense then.
I didn't want to say that, but since you called me out, because I could still hear everything you were saying.
We're all people, guys. We're all people. We pee. All right. We pee. There's books to cover it for kids.
Oh, right.
Damn
it. No, I even held my breath for a lot of it, okay? That was also slowing me down.
Okay.
So, we're going to go kind of backwards to forwards. Or so 5 to 1. Switch off, maybe. I'll intersperse some feedback we got from people I queried. I want to thank everyone who dealt with me tagging them and things, because I tagged a lot of people, hoping to just get responses this time. Good gravy. So I appreciate you. So, what is your first one?
Oh, I go first? I thought it was ladies first. Come on, Katie.
Okay.
Start this party off,
You know what? I can go first. That's fine.
Okay.
So Matt is actually in the middle of watching Clone Wars for the very first time. So I've been watching episodes here and there. And so my first one would probably have to be not first, fifth. It would have to be the Padme Amidala arc from season 3. The one where she goes to meet the senator friend with Ahsoka.
Rush Clovis?
No. The
on the Separatist side.
Yeah, on the Separatist side.
Yes.
And then her friend dies.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's just a really good arc. I think it shows a lot about what the war can do to people, but it also helps tell you what Padme's goal really is and brings a lot of depth to her character. As well as helping Ahsoka understand more and giving her a better perspective on things, because I think that's a key pivotal moment. Key and pivotal are the same thing, but you know what? It works. So I think that's a big part in Ahsoka learning how to deal with things as a Jedi in terms of peacekeeping.
That's a big eye opener, and one of the things that helped the wheel start turning for why she left the Order.
Yep.
Because and it shows you that the Separatists weren't all just battle droids. These planets that joined, Dooku put on a face. There was a democracy there. They did they gave you the inside peek, as Padme was our portal into this inside look, because Dooku's acting like he's just the elected man. He didn't want to be, not that they've manipulated this whole thing. And like you said, and I think it does two things. It shows Ahsoka that they're not all bad. They're doing what they think is right. You know what I mean? It's not just to be maniacal. We want to take everything from you. It's for the betterment of their planet and their people. And it does open Ahsoka's eyes. Padme already knew that, because she knows war is not good for anything.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, it gives you a peek into the Separatists, just a small glance into why some, they weren't all the banking clan and shit like that. You know what I mean? And the people going in, you know what I mean? The ones that they showed us in Phantom Menace and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Newt Gunray and them, yeah. So the trading stuff, yeah.
Yep. And since I said I mentioned Matt, I figured I would tell you what his favorite arc has been so far. So he is, I think he just finished season 3, and he said his favorite was the Citadel run. where they're pulling Evan Peel and Tarkin from the Citadel.
Yes.
So that has been his favorite so far.
Oh, because that's where shit really starts to get more serialized and not so much out of order shit. And it really, like season 3s were like, I love season 1 and season 2. I even like the Clone Wars movie. I know a lot of people are like, that's blasphemy. I even like that. But like like season 3s where shit start to find another gear, and then they hammer it in season 4 and 5, until the end. Okay.
So what's yours?
So if I've got to go, and I guess we're going number 5, it's the second Battle of Genosha. Because you know me, I am, like I said, I am a prequel guy. I love the Clone Wars. I love seeing that struggle. I love the Jedi out there working together and taking down battle droids. And Dave Filoni, I might be getting this wrong, but like he has a huge affinity for like World War II fighter pilots. And for like just fighter pilots, and I think it comes from his dad, whether his dad just gave him the love for it. There's something adjacent to his dad with his affinity for it. And this is the fucking like the helos dropping in Vietnam. In Vietnam, like in Vietnam dropping in where you're trying to get your tank troopers down, where you're trying to get the helicopter, drop your troops and back off, and you got helicopters shooting and your guys are getting blown out of the sky. And like when it opens up that second, when they're going to Genosha, they're fucking shooting cannons from the ground and they're flying in. You can feel the turbulence and it's going between the clones and the guys, and ships are going down right and left, and people are blowing out of the fucking ships. And it's like you feel like you're in the heart of battle. And like there's even a YouTube video where you can find they put like a 2-minute 20-second version to like the rising sun. You know what I'm saying? And like they make the music video and like it's and it just like I just like that whole arc. And then like you got Ki-Adi-Mundi and you got Kenobi and Skywalker, and they've got to work together to all converge on these one things. And then eventually you get to like the whole zombie shit, and it's just I don't know, it's just right up my alley. I just, like I said, I love that war battle, and I like the episodes, especially where like me, I'm an Anakin guy, and I love Kenobi and Ahsoka, but like I like seeing Ki-Adi-Mundi and Kit Fisto and Mace Windu and Yoda and these other lesser Jedi, or not lesser, they don't get as much screen time. And I like seeing them out there just wrecking shit, Ayla Segura and you know what I mean? Like, and go embarrass Offie and her master. And, whatever. You'd see all of them. Ayla Secura, whatever. You know what I mean? I said I was in a ramble, but you know what I mean? So, like, I'm always a sucker for that. So that I say all that to say my second, like, and it was close. I had another one right there, but after kind of just doing a little more, kind of trying to freshen my memory on stuff, just the way I felt like watching it the first time, I was like, whoa. So that's got to be mine.
So my fourth, I have to give it to the Mandalore arc that introduces Duchess Satine in season 2. I just love Duchess Satine so much. I think she's a great character. I think she brings such a good foil to Obi-Wan Kenobi, bringing a different side, which is why we're still hoping to see her in Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Please, Lucasfilm. So there's no other reason other than that. I think Duchess Satine's just great, and I think it really works as a great character introduction for her.
That one almost made my list, but I chose another Duchess Satine moment, which I will say in a second. But my favorite part of that is I fucking love it, and I remember recording it and sending it to Ray from Fans Without Borders, and I was like, "This is why you need to watch Clone Wars." And it's where she's being held by that guy, and Kenobi's there, and she's like, "I loved you" or whatever, you know what I mean? And this is not the time, and she just looks at her, and he's like, "Had you said the word, I would have left the Jedi Order for you." And I stood up and you know what I'm saying? Like, because like Kenobi knows, and I love that. I love that right there. Yes.
I didn't watch the full arc with Matt this time around, but I did watch that episode where she says that, and that about drove me to tears, especially after like rewatching it for season 7 of Clone Wars, like watching season 6 and then season 7. I was like, oh.
Well,
I would love to see that, like, what if for Star Wars, like just like do a Clone Wars
where they got together and they just lived happily
animation of it, and then like do a what if on that, like just do it. Dave Filoni, here, you can have that pitch for free. Do it.
Well, mine, I guess, for number 4 leads into the other Duchess Sabine and Kenobi thing is the Shadow Conspiracy arc where Maul puts together the collective
Yep.
and he goes and gets Death Watch and like he takes down Pre Vizsla and he becomes leader and he takes Mandalore and gets Duchess Satine. And Obi-Wan comes in and the clones come in and they're going, and like there's this whole fucking battle going on of like Mandalore trying to fight for self against Death Watch and the Shadow Collective, the people. And when he gets in there and he gets captured. And first of all, that's when some of the most beautiful animation, when Kenobi's standing there and that ship door opens and it's just fucking battle in front of him. Gorgeous. But like, and then where Maul has him and Maul's being all Shakespearean and stuff. And Kenobi's like, you do what you want to me, you'll never get anything. And he kills Duchess Satine, and she's like, dies in his arms and tells him, I always loved you or whatever. And he's just broken. He just kind of drops, and they even do the hair animation where it flops and stuff. And they pick him up, and you can just see he's shattered. And like, I just I like that. I love that arc for that whole, you know what I mean? Just because we get the history from the episodes you're talking about to this, and we know there's more backstory there, and it just crushes him. And I'm like, I don't know. And the animation, like I said, chef's kiss, because that's where shit is. They took it up 3 notches when it came to that season.
Yeah. Oh, really, really good. I'm going to chime in here with someone who chimed in with their top 5 Clone Wars arcs. So theirs was the one you just talked about, I believe, Mandalore season 5. I think is where the one you were talking about
it's
was.
Season 5, yes.
The Citadel arc is his 4th. Order 66. So I believe.
Who is it?
Ben Solo _CT.
Okay. Well, I just need a name. I just need a name to go off. Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to
he says the Order 66 arc, which I believe is the 5s, is I think because.
Oh man, that's heartbreaking. Yeah, yeah. Where he with the chips, like where he figures out the whole chip and everything. Yeah.
Because he has Siege of Mandalore on here at number 1, so that's why I would say Order 66. I'm thinking is the 5.
You're right. That's what it's got to be from the Lost Missions.
So then his 2nd is the Umbara arc, which I don't remember that one off the top of my head. Do you remember that?
Don't worry, we're gonna get to that one because that's on my list, buddy.
Okay, cool.
You just wait till we get there because I'll tell you then.
And then his number 1, like I said, is Siege of Mandalore. So Ben, I want to thank you for responding. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
So my 3rd, and I don't know if you're gonna have this one on yours, but I really enjoy the Mortis arc. Like I really enjoyed the Mortis arc.
Katie, we're samesies because that's my number 3 too. So we can talk about it at the same time.
Air high five.
I don't like the world between worlds because that's too weird. But the Mortis shit, like it just spoke to me. It feels so just Star Wars or what? Like and it just the implications throughout the rest of the series. Yep. Yes, I am totally with you. All 3 episodes, like that was a game changer when that happened. Like everyone was befuddled. You know what I mean? Like what did I just see?
Yeah. And Laura from Forced Toast Pod, she responded. She said that Mortis was her favorite arc. So I want to pick your brain on something. And I don't think Matt's listening to me from the other room, so I feel confident in saying this. So he didn't like Mortis, mainly because he's only in the middle of season 3, or he's finishing season 3, and hasn't seen Mortis come back into play. What's your thoughts on that?
He just started getting into Star Wars when he got with you, right?
Yeah, that's actually how we started. That we went on our first date to The Last Jedi.
So he's experiencing a lot of this stuff for the first time. So it might be a little like for him at first, like, what is this? You know what I mean? Yeah. But we know the implications, especially with the vision that Anakin sees. Oh. He sees it all, and it crushes him. He literally, he's standing tall, and like when he sees what he becomes, like you hear the, and he just falls to his knees. He's no, because that's not what he wants to be. He doesn't. He is the chosen one, and he knows that he wants to bring balance, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't, that's extreme. I totally agree with you. I love the Mortis arc, the father, the son. I really wish. Okay, now this has always been speculation, and we'll never know. But the Matt Smith, who from Doctor Who fame, there was a big, huge rumors that in JJ's film, like it wasn't supposed to be Palpatine come back, and everybody, even Lucasfilm themselves, said that was a last minute decision. Was supposed to have Matt Smith playing the son because the son is still alive from the Mortis arc, but supposedly this is just all hearsay. Like Bob Iger came down with the hammer and was like, nobody knows who this fucking cartoon character is. You can't put him in this movie. Get out of here. And like I said, that's all speculation. That's all speculation, and that's just huge rumor. But anyway, he comes from this, and like, man, this is the first Sam Witwer playing a dark side character here. And if you listen very closely, the Maul voice and the Son voice are kind of close. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of close.
Yep.
I love it. Ahsoka getting all turned off, funky dark side, and like her dying, her technically dying, and the daughter giving her life, and this is where Mordecai comes from, the bird that fucking follows her all the way to the Mandalorian.
Yep.
So like this has so much implications throughout the rest of everything. Like in the world between worlds, Mordecai's just hanging out in there, like flying around. And Ezra's like, hey, what the fuck's what's Ahsoka's bird doing in here? You know what I mean? Like so, like this. Like you said, and I don't think it's because has Matt seen Rebels?
No, we're gonna go through them in chronological order. So we're gonna do Clone Wars, Bad Batch, and then Rebels.
Okay, good. See, and that maybe by the time he sees it come back in Rebels, and then Mando again, maybe he's gonna look back on this and be like, you know what, maybe I need to rewatch that fucking Mortis arc. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the same. These three. That's it. That's number 3.
Woohoo. I'm gonna chime in here with 2 more. Mike and John at the movies. I don't know who's responding, Mike or John. I asked them, and they said all of them, but I'll choose the Mandalore trilogy for now. So he's talking about the first one with his gift. Mm-hmm. So I love seeing Obi-Wan and Satine, is what they said. So
yes,
there's their response. And then Nico, who is a co-host of the Vigilante 1939 podcast, said his favorite arc was Darth Maul Returns. His hype at the time was unmatched when this dude came back. The Clone Wars gave him the treatment he could have gotten in the prequels.
Guess you know what? It was down to Maul's return in the second Battle of Geonosis, and like it was really, really. I swear to God, like you can't see, like I literally scribbled it out there on my notes. So because like I had it and I went back and forth to scribble it. So yes, I totally agree.
Yes. So,
what's your number 2?
My number 2, and this was a hard one for me, but Obi-Wan Undercover. Nathan! So, I think it's season 4 when I looked at this, but Obi-Wan Undercover as the assassin and dying.
What is his name? If you wouldn't have said it, I could have. Rocco Hardeen. The marksman of Concord Dawn, Rocco Hardeen.
I think that sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
This one is just, I think it gives you your first glance into Anakin fully turning. Because this is the second time he's come close with, like, his family, in a sense, like, coming to death.
This is his father.
Yeah. So I think it really shows a big turning point for him. And Ahsoka finally looks at him and goes, okay, something's up here. But not to mention, like, just seeing Obi-Wan as somebody else and seeing him get to, like, let loose kind of from the Jedi Order. It's really cool to see.
Him working with the bounty hunters and Cad Bane actually getting a respect for him. Like, because he he has a code still, and he doesn't leave the other ones behind. And like, he's smart enough to use their talents. And even Cad Bane recognizes before he knows he's like he's thinking like he is, but like he's like, no, we're not screwing this guy over. Like he's been a true, you know what I mean? Like he's stuck to his guns. And like because Cad Bane is one of my favorite characters to come out of anything. And I so wish they would have fucking finished that episode where Boba Fett and Cad Bane have the showdown, and Cad Bane puts the dent in Boba's helmet. That's where that dent comes from.
Oh, is that where that comes from?
That's where that comes from. Is Cad Bane puts the dent in Boba's helmet. And that was, you can watch right now. You can find on YouTube right now that unfinished episode. And you can see the showdown. And Cad Bane pulls on him and puts the dent in Boba's helmet.
Oh, that would make a good one.
Yeah. Like I totally agree with you. That is a fantastic arc. I agree.
All right. So what is your second one?
My second one is the Umbaru arc. the one that the listener came in. Man, when I watched this changed me. Like I felt it in my gut. So it's like Darkness on Umbara is the first one to say, like it's this three of them, and I'm gonna kind of just walk you through it since you don't remember. It's where the clones are on this dark planet. It's all covered in shadows.
Oh, I'm pulling this up. This is the guy. This is the guy. Yeah. Okay, so I got the Wikipedia pulled up for this.
Yeah, the flashing light like planets and stuff, and they have these helmets on. They come out of the dark, and Anakin gets called back, and Jedi General Paul Krell take control of the 501st. And he just he says full frontal assault. Rex and these men are getting slaughtered. Rex is getting slaughtered out there with all these men. And then like you come in like Krell's pulling lightsabers on the clones, and like he oh sorry, were you gonna say something?
No, you're good. I'm yawning.
Oh well, like he pulls like I said, he pulls the lightsaber on him. He keeps sending them in, like so much so that like Rex and a lot of the clones, like they disobey the orders. And come to find out, Krell is kind of slow. He's had some kind of vision to turn into the dark side, and he comes out and he's a four-armed. He's Dexter Jester from Dexter, in episode 2. He's that species, and he's got 2 double-bladed lightsabers, which, by the way, is the first time we ever saw the folding lightsabers. The folding because his click. That's the double-bladed flick lightsabers. And he comes out and he starts killing these motherfuckers. And the 50 and Rex has to come up with a plan, because the reason why they found out is he tells the 501st and Rex that the enemy has taken clone armor and they are dressed up like us, and they go out there and fight and they're killing each other. And Rex sees one of the helmets come off and he put the clones against each other. And brother was killing brother. And man, like I'm telling you, when I say this shit changed me for the first time, I was like not that a lot of the other shit in the other seasons was for kids. You know what I mean? But like this is where I was like, this is real. Like they're not playing. Like you can still have, but like they're not playing it down. They're showing you the horrors of war and like what. Like oh man, it changed me. And whenever the clones got him, and like they got it, and like little side note, you know how Disney released a little bit of short stories like from the Clone Wars, like short stories with all different writers from different perspectives. Well, they got one of Rex going through this thing, and Dogma.
Is that the one?
Yes, Dogma. Dogma is the one. Like whenever Krell's saying like full frontal assault, even though they're going to get slaughtered, and all the other ones are going like, man, that's a terrible idea. Skywalker would never do this. Dogma goes, well, I trust the general, and he's got the right of him. We'll do it. Fast forward to the end of the trilogy, and Dogma's the one that puts the blaster through him and kills Paul Krell because he was slaughtering him. Whoa, you know what I mean? Like whoa.
I think this one's actually the longest arc, as this one's got 4 episodes.
4 episodes, yeah. But it's it's just like I said. When I say it changed, like when I watched it, I was like my gut was hurting.
This one's dark.
Like I know they get put. Yeah, it is dark. But man, it's really good though. If you want to get a taste, it's good. It's really good.
If you want to know why Clone Wars isn't a kids show, watch this one.
Mm-hmm.
So my first one, and I don't know about you, but this is probably really like bandwagony and everything. I mean, I did tag Geek First Podcast, and I believe Taylor or Travis by this, and they said the final 3 episodes, and that's my first one, Siege of Mandalore.
That is also mine. And Katie, I don't think that's a bandwagoner, because if that's the case, I didn't watch Clone Wars until 2014, 2015, but I've seen the entire series like 3 times. And if you would consider me a bandwagoner, okay, sure, whatever. No. But I love the Clone Wars, but the way, just the animation and the emotion and the weight and the music that came along with that Siege of Mandalore arc, and just like eerie, ominous tones, it's like there's like I said, Bravo, and I forget the lady, great martial artist that did the motion capture for Ahsoka, and then the guy that does what's his name that does Darth Maul? Come on.
Okay, hang on.
Name? You know what I'm saying? God, I'm brain farting. But
Randall Park. No, that's the Asian guy. I'm sorry.
Yes, that is no. They're screaming right now out there, but you know what I'm saying. But like the way that motion capture they did that, and like I said, the animation and just the music, just everything about it, and the emotional weight that carried. And then Vader coming in at the end, like whoa, and finding the lightsaber. Yes, Captain Rex. Like we see how he got the chip pulled and how he fought it for a second. Like, I'm with you. If that's a bandwagon thing to say, whatever, call me on the bandwagon then, because I so good.
I think her name's Lauren Kim, I want to say.
And it's Ray something, right?
I'm pulling it up. Cast. You got.
God dang it! I feel silly.
I feel silly too.
Either way, you guys know who I'm talking about, and it'll come to me.
We've complimented them several times.
Several times, exactly. It'll come to me as soon as we're done with this. But yeah, that is my top one, and I don't fault you, and I don't think you're a bandwagon anything, because, like I said many times, your Star Wars knowledge is far outweighs mine. So I would never consider you a bandwagon anything.
Oh, this is gonna really bug me. I've got to figure this out. Who plays Maul in The Phantom Menace? Because it's him.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Park.
Ray Park. See, I knew it was Ray something. Yeah.
In The Mandalorian.
You said Randall Park. See, I had the first part. You had the last part. We just
exactly
come together there.
And then let's see. Okay, I got.
He did the motion capture work to do that lady that you just mentioned that did the Ahsoka skill.
Lauren Mary Kim.
Yes, like bravo to both of them.
Phenomenal work.
Because that is what makes it. And like I said, you could. I don't know. Like I said, I can't. I'll just keep talking in circles. I can't say it any other way. But like the emotional weight, the gravity, that everything that brought just bringing that series to a close, seeing Order 66 from the ground floor of Ahsoka, like we saw it in Revenge of the Sith. Like we saw our friends getting slaughtered, but like we get to see how Ahsoka escaped it, and just how like she buried all of them. They all tried to kill her, and she buried them all, or helped Rex do it. You know what I mean? So like it's just yeah. I have nothing more to say about it. Like it's bravo. So like I said, chef's kisses. Exactly.
Well, Nathan, that brings us to the end here.
This is the end.
Thanks for joining us on a Monday, y'all. If you were here, really appreciate it. I know it's not typical for what we do, but yesterday was Easter. It was the holiday, so
people understand, right?
Yep. So Nathan, tell them when you can be found.
Friday evenings, most Friday evenings on Super Civil Servants, 8:00 my time, 9:00 Greg time. That's what I always say.
9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, and then usually you can find me and Katie every other Sunday morning at 10 Eastern. So, you can find me here. And if you have any questions, you can email the network of shows, or if you want to pester Katie and she doesn't mind, like if there's something, you can get a hold of me. I'm around.
Yep. So the next time we will be back for Star Wars Alliance is April 18th. And this is now the point of the show where I admit that I did not put out a poll on if we were going to cover the prequels or the sequels next. So I will do that, and basically we'll be watching the first one of whatever wins.
Yeah.
Nathan, we're going to have to do the sequels at some
point. I know. The sequels, as in The Mandalorian. I'm down with that. Season 1 and Season 2. You're right, Katie.
We've already done that.
No, that is the sequel trilogy. It's just not done yet. They're going to do Book of Boba Fett and go. Get it? Like it's coming. No, I'm just kidding. I really, really like Force Awakens. Whatever, call me when it's just like A New Hope. Whatever, I don't care. Maybe that's why I like it. So
we'll have that argument.
Right.
You can find me on Twitter at Slice of Katie. I'm not on Twitter as much right now, but I am still on there daily. So, but it's been great for my mental health. Staying on.
Yes. Guys, I'm living proof. Look at me. Like I stopped graying. Like I was graying faster, and I even stopped graying. So all right.
Well, I get my hair dyed. So.
Right.
This show.
Now we're talking about hair.
You never know what womp rats will chase around here.
Right.
This show you can find on Twitter as well. It's at Star Wars Alliance without the A in the Wars. If you've got questions for us in the next episode, want to come on and talk about a movie, hey, maybe you could be the deciding factor in which movie we'll cover next. So check us out there. Send me a DM if you've got questions, or shoot a tweet. I don't really care one way or another. I like interacting with people. My other show is at Slice of Film 1. So if you want to come talk about a movie with me there, and Nathan, you got to come back and talk with me some point. Like I know we covered Batman.
I'm ready. So. You tell me when you have an opening, and I will pick a series of films to watch with you.
Oh, I missed this from Clay. Or he just said it actually. He said Nathan and I can review The Last Jedi. You know what? I may take a break that day and let you host that day, Clay. If you'll edit
No,
for me,
Clay.
because
Actually, no. Clay and I, we have said many times on Super Civil Servants that we need to have because Clay, like, no, I think he and I could have a very civil discussion, and even if it wasn't civil, I think we'd laugh about it afterward. I think we would laugh about it afterward. So I think Clay and I definitely need to talk about it.
we'll see what happens.
Right.
So Nathan, you tell me when you want to come back, and we'll watch a movie and talk about it.
I will think. I will think on it and let you know.
Okay. So this episode will be dropping Thursday, and then surprise, we will actually be dropping the Godzilla vs. Kong episode this Thursday as well.
Nice.
Special Slice of Film Edition, new films. I even got a new ending segment. Try and switch things up on y'all. So,
by the way, I really like Godzilla vs. Kong. Whatever. I'm a kaiju fan. I really liked it. So whatever.
I'm not.
I won't say anything yet until I want to listen. I need your thoughts.
So yeah, you can check that out on Thursday. Next Thursday, I have Greg on. We're talking about Inception.
Yes,
so that was a great episode.
Oh, yes,
such a blast. I love that movie.
That is a great movie.
Stay tuned for that, y'all.
I can't wait to hear that. Yeah.
So with that, I want to wish everyone a great day or night, whatever time of day you're listening or watching. And we'll see y'all next time. May the force be with you.
Always.
And broadcast.